Today's episode is brought to you by Harry's. To get your free trial set, go to harrys.com/CAG right now. That's harrys.com/CAG.
And I think it was snowing, 'cause the city was glowing. Yeah, I started to know that young love was broken. It was a good day, oh what a good day. But it is long gone now, when all the stars fell down. It was a good day, oh what a good day. That day you broke my heart. I loved you way too hard. Now I'm free.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to CAGCast episode number 503. I'm your host, Cheapy D, here in Long Island, New York. And as always, we are joined by a man who proves that if you don't ask, you don't get Wombat.
Yeah, I guess you have a point there. Something to be said about that.
That's right. Didn't Wayne Gretzky
I feel
say
you'd
that?
like a T-shirt with that on it.
Is there a T-shirt that says that I should know about?
That's in your near future, coming from California?
Yeah,
No, that would be good
Okay.
though. We didn't have time to custom make you a T-shirt.
that's quite all right. I would hope not.
We did have time to grab you the shittiest T-shirts that we could find. Well, really,
That
any
sounds-
T-shirt, not just the shittiest. Anything that was available.
T-shirts were in short supply this year.
That's okay.
I feel like
Oh.
you're going to be getting more T-shirts than 95% of the attendees. You think that's accurate, Shipwreck?
That's probably accurate. You're getting fewer Mario hats.
Yeah.
You know, I could live without a Mario hat.
Yeah, you wouldn't be wearing that anywhere.
No, I would not be wearing that anywhere anytime soon.
So, hi, Shipwreck. You just jumped right in. That was
Hello.
good. Didn't
Hello,
wait for an
GP.
intro. I think for this episode, this is our special E3 sort of wrap-up show that we do every year, where you'll get a new show at the beginning of the episode, and at the last 3/4 of the episode will be the hour's worth of audio booze that we recorded from LA, just stapled on to the end of the show. People seem to like
Live
that.
from the JW Marriott.
Yeah, everyone recorded from the JW.
You may know it as Jeff Keighley's YouTube live show.
Right. Yeah, so if you want to hear a lot of E3 talk, you are in the right place, and get ready to listen to, 3 to 4 hours worth of fantastic E3 content. So, I mean, all I did really to prepare for this episode was take a bunch of questions from the listeners. They were almost all about E3. I thought we would talk about our general impressions of the show, even though you're going to hear them again from the stuff from last week, but maybe you don't want to listen to the stuff from last week. Maybe you just
Maybe
want-
they've changed since then.
maybe they've changed. Who knows what could happen?
Maybe people care what I think. You ever think about that,
Well,
Captain Jerkface?
Maybe.
Didn't you record
Maybe.
some audio booze?
I did too.
So they're going to be there.
Yeah.
You don't sound
Great.
impressed with your output or something.
I don't know. I'm exhausted, and I honestly apologize in advance to everyone listening to this show, because I should be more awake
Alert.
and more energetic, and I am not.
If we feel like you're slagging off, can we just yell out, "Slap yourself, Wombat"?
Basically, I'm exhausted and I'm honestly mildly depressed. So
Uh-oh.
I'm just trying to keep my head above water. So
Well, I have a big bag of ether, a Pactor bag that is stuffed to the brim.
Great.
with E3 goodies for you. Hopefully that'll cheer you up.
okay.
It's big, Wombat. It's like overloading.
I'm excited. I am excited. I am super excited for that.
There's a Burger Time shirt in there for you.
You know what? That actually is pretty awesome.
It's the best shirt. I guarantee you.
Shirt of E3.
That is the shirt of E3. There's no question. I was bummed. I'll let you in on a little secret.
You weren't going to get the Burger Time shirt.
You weren't going to get the Burger Time T-shirt because the PR rep for the booth that had Burger Time stuff in it. Knew me.
My Arcade, I believe, is the name of that.
Okay.
company.
He knew me from his old job, and as we were leaving, he's like, "Oh, you guys want some Burger Time shirts?" And we're like, "Fuck yeah, we want some Burger Time shirts."
Who doesn't want Burger Time shirts?
And he went into the back room, pulled out 2 shirts, and gave it to us. And we walked out of the way, and we were like, "Oh, well, sucks for Wombat. We only got 2 Burger Time shirts." But then when I got home, I noticed that it was a large. So you win, Wombat.
Why? What size shirt do you wear?
I wear an extra large.
Oh, I didn't know that. I assumed you wore a large, like me.
I'm tall. I got to wear an extra large. Otherwise, it's like a cutoff. Otherwise,
that might be sexy for some people.
a Burger Time cutoff. Anyway, it's definitely the best shirt that I saw at E3 by a lot. So
cool.
Congratulations. You have something. Cheer up, Wombat. That's what I'm saying.
I will. I need to I honestly have about a week and a half left of what's going on, and once it passes, I'm gonna knock on wood and say everything will just be back to normal. And
talking about your day job,
self.
right?
Yeah, it's just
not your kidney stone.
No, it's just been very busy and it's stressful, and you know how it can get.
Sure.
It's just work stress, and it's it isn't fun.
Is your back hurting?
No, my back isn't hurting. I'm just very tired and
okay.
very on edge.
Okay, I'll try not to piss you off.
Yeah. I've said things to some people that I've had to apologize for.
Oh shit! Damn.
To which the response has been, "I understand. I know what you're going through." So
I'm glad you didn't go with us to E3 this year. Then
I wouldn't have been able to handle it. I honestly wouldn't have. I mean, between work and also during E3 was also my daughter's dance recital and my son's 6th birthday party. And I feel like, and in the last T-ball game of the season, and there was all sorts of other crap. It couldn't be at a worse time of the year for E3. Like if E3 was like the first week of August, that would totally work for me.
Gotcha.
We'll let them know.
Yeah, can they move it? I know, it's like if there couldn't be a worse time of the year for me than any time in June.
I think this was just poor planning on your part when you impregnated your wife.
That too. I should have thought about that in advance. How will this affect E3?
Right. Wait, quick! I don't want to get graphic. People are going to start throwing up in their mouths.
Oh, I did.
Right. So let's rewind, I guess, before we get into E3 stuff, because it's going to be the majority of the show. We'll get some other stuff out of the way first. If we can rewind in our minds from 2 weeks ago, we last left our listeners with the fun story about how Wombat was tweeting about Elder Scrolls Online, the Morrowind add-on, and he tweeted out to the head of PR for Bethesda, basically wondering where his copy was. And we made fun of him on the show, as we are often to do.
But guess what?
Guess what happened?
They sent it to me.
It had nothing to do with that tweet, though.
No,
it
didn't have
everything to do with me giving you the PR contact.
Yes, you and someone else. There were multiple people involved with this.
So
is who you should.
Multiple people saw your tweet, right?
People saw it like just eat, and I'm like, and it's funny because it sounds weird saying not who, but it's not that it matters. But I was like, I'm not going to do it. It's silly. And this other person actually typed up an email and sent it to me and goes, "No, just send this to them. I'm telling you, you should do it."
You didn't even type up your own email?
No, he goes,
"Wow."
They're like, they want you to play this game. Just send them this email. You don't even have to do any work. I'm like, fine.
Wow, Ben Gilbert's a nice guy.
There you go. You said it, not me. But
I just guessed. You didn't. You just confirmed it. So it's on you now.
It is on me. Not that it matters. But and he was right. And they emailed me back and like, yeah, please, we love to have you play our game. And I've been playing it, and it actually is a lot of fun.
Oh,
who knew?
Well, you love Elder Scrolls. You love that whole universe.
And it is very much it feels a lot more like an Elder Scrolls game than I think when Shipwreck played it. I know they changed it a lot since that game launched a few years ago. It now looks like an Elder Scrolls game. You can play in the first person or the third person. The weapons are very similar. There are some MMO contrivances that I could do without. Sometimes it looks really silly when you have like 6 people standing in a room together, all talking to the same person at the same time.
Jumping up and down.
Right. Yeah.
Lots of
like
jumping.
Yeah, there's that kind of silliness. There's a lot of like I just spoke to that person, I'm going to leave, and now I can actually see someone going through that same animations behind me as I'm leaving the room. Which, again, it's part of that MMO thing. The other thing...
It really makes you seem like a community. It really drives
I will say it does come in handy when you're like fighting a boss character and there just happens to be 2 other people there that help you take it down instead of dying. So that's kind of cool.
That's pretty neat. I didn't realize that I guess that would be possible.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool. So I'll there's trade-offs. There's pluses and minuses. There's they really want you to spend money, which, I can't blame them for that, but they really want you to spend money.
But there's no monthly fee, right?
You can still pay a monthly fee, and what the monthly fee gets you, that basically this is what they want you to do, is you have fairly limited storage space as far as the stuff you could carry around. But if you pay the monthly fee, you get unlimited storage space for stuff you can carry around.
I see. And there are probably other benefits too, or is that just it?
That's like the main one. And again, there's a lot of stuff you could buy. I don't know I think you probably get some of those loot boxes with your monthly subscription. I don't know how many or what you would get specifically, but I'm sure there's lots of your usual MMO stuff like pets and mounts and costumes and that kind of stuff. So, but I have 2 pets that came with my copy of the game, and I have 2 horses. I got the horse with the armor.
Sweet.
So that's kind of funny. Yeah, I got the horse armor, which made me laugh. And I've unlocked a really cool costume in the game, so I'm pretty good there.
Oh, so, cool. See? It's a good thing that you asked.
No,
it's a good thing that Ben asked. I mean, that you asked.
There are some good quests in there. Like, just straightforward, Elder Scrolls style, quests. Quest lines, little storylines.
That's good. I'm glad. Everything worked out.
For that, yes.
Don't be depressed. You got Elder Scrolls.
I do.
And it's good, it sounds like.
Yep. And I also got 100 gold bricks in Lego Worlds, which is top rank for that game. Basically, that's finishing the game.
Wow. I see everything's coming together.
That game is really good. I think you and Ty would really enjoy it. And it's on sale on PSN this week. I'm just throwing that out there for you.
Maybe he's off to sleepaway camp on Sunday, so
I know
I'll be by my lonesome.
We all play that together. Me and both children play that. So
cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's. Is this the time of the show that we talk about the Mummy 4DX, or do we want to save that for later because we're up to Watch This Bitches? What do you say, Ship?
That's part of Watch This Bitches, I would say.
I think that's a big part of Watch This Bitches.
Okay. Well, first I'll say that I finished the first season of American Gods, and that is a very violent television show with a fair amount of sex and penises in it. I might
that's like pretty much describes all the shows that you watch.
I had to get my dad's cable login. I had to ask him if he had Stars so I could watch the show. I was like, oh yeah, I heard good things about this show called American Gods and I want to check it out. He's like, oh, okay, sure. He's like, thanks for letting me know. I got a text back from him like about a week later saying, David, we turned off American Gods after 5 minutes because it gets super gross in the first 5 minutes of the show. But I like these types of shows where it's sort of unclear exactly what is going on. You don't really have a full view of what's happening. And Ian McShane is the guy's name? The guy from Deadwood, is that his name?
Yes, that's the guy from Deadwood.
Yeah, so. He's in this. He's like one of the main characters in it.
Also in John Wick.
Yeah.
I watched John Wick 2 on the Plane Ride 2 E3.
How was that?
It's like John Wick 1, but not quite as good.
But
right.
The sequel?
If you were to think about a sequel, this would be it.
It's the RoboCop 2, basically, of John Wick movies. But, it's not horrible, but it's not.
No, it's not horrible by any means. It just doesn't add hardly anything to the John Wick franchise.
And maybe makes less sense, if that's possible.
It's a little bit cheekier than the first one, I think. They they definitely, it's not as real. Like if you think the first one was realistic, that it's
Right.
like this one is far more unrealistic.
Right. They're just like, fuck it.
Right.
Nobody thinks this is real.
You guys want to see some stuff happen, right? We're going to show you some stuff happen.
All right. You want to see a guy get run over by a car a few times and be totally
Oh
fine.
my gosh. He gets hit by a car like 16 times in this movie.
And he just walks away. It's like, whatever.
Yeah, just gets back up. It's fine.
Well, it's not about getting hit. It's about knowing how to get hit.
But
Right.
he knows. If anybody knows how to get hit by a car, it's John Wick.
It's John Wick. That's what I mean. Like, he just knows how to get hit.
Right. He's basically like the Uber of getting hit by a car. He's just
Exactly.
like, all the cars come to him. All right, let's talk about The Mummy, which we saw in 4DX at 5:15 p.m. on the last day of the show.
Now, this is supposed to be one of the worst movies ever made.
I laughed my ass off for 2 hours.
Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it was good.
No, this isn't a good movie. I don't think it's in the worst movie ever made category.
It's pretty bad. It doesn't really have many redeeming qualities, I would say.
Not a ton.
But when you add the whole seats moving in time with the movie, it becomes a 2-hour amusement park ride. And, you got people getting stabbed, and then you're getting stabbed.
So much stabbing.
So much stab. I mean, Shipwreck, it wasn't just me. Shipwreck was laughing. It's pretty loud, so I couldn't really tell how the rest of the theater was enjoying the show.
Was
But-
it crowded?
Meh.
Fairly.
Okay.
There were a few people
half
there.
full, probably.
Maybe. But Ship was definitely laughing pretty much every time that I was laughing. And I was pretty tired by the end of the movie from laughing and just, being stabbed and spit on.
Thorban did not enjoy it.
Thorban hated it. Thorban didn't get it. Thorban...
The movie or the 4DX?
Any
both.
of it.
Any of it. He was basically...
It
like,
was not his thing.
No. He was like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? How could you possibly like this?
He turned the water off. He wasn't even getting shot with water.
Right. He didn't... Yeah, he was not in his element. For sure.
He was out about halfway through the movie. He like stuck with it, but
Right. He probably wanted
I could
to
tell
leave.
he was not enjoying. It was like me when we watched that Superman movie one bet.
Gotcha.
Oh,
At E3.
and me.
Right.
I was crying basically by the end. I wanted to leave.
Well,
so
that,
badly.
you still say it like Superman, like Man of Steel being bad is my fault.
No, it was the you
Like I
looking
had
over
something-
at me and going, "That was pretty good, huh?
Eh?
Yeah, huh?
I was in denial. I fully admit that.
Well, yeah, I would definitely say that if you're not going to see The Mummy in 4DX, you should fucking stay far away from it because
It's such a ridiculous movie to be bad. Like how do you make that such a bad movie? The plot just jumps all over the place.
it makes no
which-
sense, really.
There's no need for it to do that. Like this could be like the most straightforward plot ever. And you have enough like acting presence on screen and you have enough budget for special effects that you should come out with a serviceable movie.
Yeah.
This ain't it.
No.
Unless you see it in 4DX, and then it's, basically 4 stars.
It really establishes the dark universe though.
I watched the Red Letter Media on it today.
I need to do that still.
It's they bring it.
You
feel
like it?
I feel like that'd be very amusing.
They did not like it. But they did enjoy making fun of it, and I enjoyed watching that. So yeah, that's
Remember that part where we got sprayed in the face by someone coughing up drowning water?
yeah, that was good.
Like somebody was getting CPR and they coughed out the water that they had choked on and it just splashed all over our faces.
Oh, it was so fun. I just laughed.
That was
so
pretty
hard.
pretty good.
I mean, it's just fucking hilarious. Like, they're riding horses and the chairs are going
There was
up and down.
smell-o-vision this time.
Yep, we got flower smells.
We got
I think.
flowers.
I don't know. I think it's 4DX is amazing. I would love to be the spokesperson for 4DX. They just have a camera on me for the whole movie and watch me just laugh hysterically.
But it's not distracting. I guess you want to see a movie that you don't have to pay
Yeah,
attention
you
to.
don't. Yeah, that you want to be shaken because
Yeah.
you don't want to be thinking about the plot.
Right. They were showing the Wonder Woman in 4DX too at that theater, and I don't think that would be
I don't
good.
want to see that in that. I still haven't seen Wonder Woman, and I want to see that.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet either. Maybe you and I should go.
It works for movies that don't have that you're not going to have any emotional connection with. So this movie and the Jurassic World, I think, were really good. We're prime 4DX movies. Anyway, what else we got here?
Have you watched Oh Hello yet on Netflix?
I don't know what that is, so no.
Oh, it's the they taped a John Mulaney and Nick Kroll, two comedians, had a Broadway show where they play these two characters that they've been doing on various things for a long time. They made it into a Broadway show. They recorded the Broadway show and they stuck it on Netflix as a Netflix original, and it's called Oh Hello. It's very funny. I'm curious. I think you would like it, Cheapy, actually. I don't know if you'll love it. It's hard with comedy to make that kind of a bold statement.
Mm-hmm.
But, cause you'll get the references. There's a lot of very New York specific references. So I don't know how well it would play to someone who's not a New Yorker.
Got it.
And that was work calling me.
What the fuck? God damn! Don't you know you're a fucking internet superstar? You can't be answering phone calls.
I know.
During the
I know.
show.
So, can you believe it at 9:45? So that's that.
That's all hello.
It's Oh Hello. It's very funny. If you have Netflix, I don't know, watch it. You
All right.
may make it 5 minutes. You may make it through the whole thing.
All right.
But I do recommend making it at least until Steve Martin.
Ooh, that's a good teaser right there.
Isn't that a good teaser?
Mm-hmm.
Should make it till at least Steve Martin.
All right. Should we let's jump into the new releases for this week and then we'll get on to E3 pretty much.
Yay. I've not been playing any ARMS. Did you get that?
I played the beta. I don't know what they called it. Didn't I talk about it? I feel like I might have.
You talked about the beta.
Yeah, I don't know. I get that it's sort of unique and clever for a fighting game, but it's also doesn't have a lot of content for a fighting game. So
I see the motion controls and I immediately like recoil.
Right. I mean, they were kind of. I didn't hate the motion controls, like at least the part where you're throwing the punches. I thought that was kind of. It worked. Like if you want to throw a hook punch, you make the hook motion, you go straight. That seemed to work. The problem was with the moving. It didn't seem natural to have to like tilt your hands to move like that. I felt like some of it should be on a stick or something.
Well, you can play it with a controller, but then I
Yes.
read that you don't get as like refined as controls then. Like you can't twist your hand.
You can, but you have to do it with the stick. You're like hooking the stick, I think. You can still do it, but I don't know. It didn't grab me. I can see the appeal. It's colorful. The characters seem
The characters look
nice.
cool.
But there's only 10 of them, and there's no type of story mode. I don't know. I feel like we're spoiled by, the latest Mortal Kombat and Injustice games where they put in. I mean, pretty much most fighting games have some sort of a story mode in them. Those are just the exceptional ones. But I don't know, for a full price release, it didn't do it for me. So I'm going to pass on it. But it did seem to get like pretty decent reviews.
Wombat has a Switch now. Maybe he picked it up.
Oh, I did. I picked up 3 copies of it.
One for each arm.
One
It got
for each-
decent reviews, right? It didn't get great reviews.
I like that. I like that thing that's going around the internet, the lore of ARMS. That did make me laugh.
Why, about the masks?
No, why the story, Nintendo's official line on what the backstory is for the characters of ARMS.
Oh, I missed that.
Oh,
I saw the thing. It said like they get their superpowers when they put on their mask, and otherwise, when they take the mask off, their arms go back to normal.
I thought it was that they just woke up one day and had long arms and they decided to fight.
No, I don't know. What's
Either
real
one
about
is captivating.
it. Right. It's got a 77 on Metacritic. That's pretty okay.
Low by Nintendo standards.
Right. I guess you're right.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure it's fine.
Okay.
I've been playing Nex Machina.
I was gonna say the thing that's been going around the internet is it's a Nintendo Direct video and small Japanese social media have hinted at a story. It's literally one day people just woke up with extendable spring arms. Nobody knows why. Some of the folks decided to use their arms to make money fighting. Nintendo said they'll add more lore later.
They were like, you know what? Overwatch went too far with their story. Like there's too much story. They actually made some videos and stuff offline to tell the story. Let's just put together 2 sentences and just say call it a day.
I love Nintendo's just we'll do everything later.
Right. Online will be later, virtual console later, back up your saves later. We're keenly aware that we got nothing, but we're not going to do anything anyway.
Oh, because why would they? They're just going to make money anyways.
Right. People are still going to buy it so they can play Mario.
But yeah, I have been playing Nex Machina on PlayStation. That is a Housemarque game. Same development studio that is doing that Matterfall game that we played at E3 Chiefy.
Oh, okay.
So Nex Machina is a twin stick shooter.
Oh, good
and
reviews.
It's really good. It's really good. It has some Robotron stuff in there because there's people scattered around the boards that you go and save. It's not like a single screen type of thing. It's it's top down. You're controlling a dude and you get power ups and stuff. And every time you complete one of these stages, then the world kind of shifts around. Imagine if it was a cube, you just shift to a different part of the cube and warps you to there, and then you play a different stage and you keep going like that. But it's got a dash mechanic in there as well. And that's how you get through laser grids, that type of stuff.
Holy shit, I'm looking at this thing right now.
It's got a lot going on. It looks really nice. I was really enjoying it, and then something weird happened with my PS4 controller last night to where it just stopped responding, but then the console didn't say it disconnected. So I got to fix that, but I'm definitely into this game.
Wow, it looks intense. Looks
yeah,
crazy.
but it's intense, but it's kind of forgiving in that you have a lot of lives. I think you get maybe 5 lives a turn, but then you have 99 continues.
I see.
So they want it to be hard, but they want you to actually be able to play it as well.
All right.
Yeah,
cool.
It's pretty good. Let's see. Dead by Daylight Special Edition came out for Xbox One and PS4. I got a code for this, but the servers weren't up yet when I had time to try it. The servers are up now, I know, but this is another one of those 4v1 games, kind of like the Friday the 13th game, but there's more horror monsters. One player plays as that, and then the other 4 are the survivors.
What kind of horror monsters?
Dude with an axe.
Mummy? The Mummy?
I don't know. I did not get to play any of it. I'm going to try it because I like the idea of, I don't want to really play as the monster or the killer or whatever, but I like the idea of I'm supposed to die pretty much in these, so I won't feel bad if I get killed because you're clearly going to be underpowered. But I don't know. It just looks kind of neat. It's been out on PC for a little while, I think, in some fashion.
And I think there is a Mummy Chibi.
Thank God.
I'm trying to look at pictures now. I believe there is a something that looks kind of like a mummy zombie hybrid, maybe. A zummy.
Boy, that movie was not good.
All
right.
But yeah, I'll find some time to play it this week now that it's up and running. I if it's good, I think that would be fun to play together.
Okay.
Is Mike Myers in this? Michael Myers. I should. Halloween, not Yeah Baby.
I do not know. I mean, there's like a lot of them look like they're definitely inspired by like famous horror villains.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see here. List of I don't know. I don't think there's any
No,
official
I'm looking at the
wait.
list right now.
Okay, DLC is the first
Michael
licensed killer.
Myers.
Michael Myers.
Oh, so you could both kiss my butt. Is that
Right.
is that where we're going with this?
Pretty much.
I guess.
There's also the Hag, which looks sort of like the Mummy, I guess. And Hillbilly. I don't know. They look pretty scary. I don't want to look at this page anymore.
Right. That's I have to see how scary it is before
Right. fuck that.
I make you buy it, cheapy.
Right. I don't want any nightmares.
Right.
I want you to have nightmares.
I'm still thinking about that spider from E3. Oh man.
From the hunt.
Yeah, the hunt showdown, which we talk about in the after like all the E3 stuff. But did you watch any of that, Wombat?
I saw that clip of that game with this big spider in it.
Just the little.
Just that little clip that's been going around. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, the
okay.
GIF that I tweeted out earlier?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
you
a good
should really
presentation.
watch that whole video because they've put out basically what we saw at E3, which was like two-man teams in that game.
Yeah, it's like
And it
7
was-
minutes, I think.
What game
Yeah.
is this again?
The Hunt.
Hunt Showdown.
The Hunt.
It's,
Oh, it's
it's a
called Hunt?
Crytek game.
Wait, it's called
Okay.
Showdown?
Hunt Showdown is Hunt:/Showdown, I think, is what the
Oh.
name of it is.
Hunting your
Oh, it is,
colon
yeah.
showdown.
I feel like they added the Showdown after E3. I don't remember them ever.
No, it was definitely called that at E3.
I don't remember. I thought it was called The Hunt. It's not even, there's no
close.
the either.
No,
I
it's
was
close.
close.
Mike's Hunt.
Parentheses Myers.
But they basically released that essentially the same video that we saw at E3, and it's, if nothing else, it's a great design direction to watch, and it's almost like a let's play to watch it as well, just because it's concentrating on two guys playing the game.
Right. It's a game where you have, was it 5 teams of 2, and everybody's trying to hunt down a big monster. And once you kill the monster, then you're trying to escape the map. So you don't have to attack the other human players, but it depends all on your strategy. It's in the playthrough that they show, these guys pretty much just go right for the monster and try to keep a low profile. It was a really good demo. I got to say, that was probably the best demo one of the best demos that we saw at E3 for sure. It's only coming to PC first, I believe, and they haven't. I don't think they've announced any console action yet, but I'm interested.
No, it's coming first to Windows, but it is coming to
Oh, okay.
PS4 and Xbox One.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. I think that's gonna be a pretty popular game to watch on the Twitches and YouTubes. Seems like it has potential.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it definitely has potential. It's just that if right now it only has one map, I think they said. So
Right. It's going to depend on the monsters too, probably, if they're all as good as the spider.
that spider was the best thing of E3.
It was pretty gross and creepy.
It is like one of those things that I'm going to remember seeing at E3 for years to come. Is
That and the Mummy.
right? Let's see what else came out this week. Oh, I've also been playing a game that we saw at E3 for the 3DS, River City Knights of Justice.
Mm-hmm.
This is the $15 downloadable River City RPG game. So like it's River City, but in a fantasy setting. It's pretty good. For $15, I've been entertained for the day I've been playing it so far.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm happy with my purchase.
Shout out to the lady at Natsume who's a big CAGCast fan and was very excited to have us come to her booth and check out.
I
the
feel
stuff.
I feel like that's a lie.
No,
No, it's not.
it's not at all.
She knew exactly who we were.
Yep, and she gave us evidence that she actually listened to the show. She
Right.
wasn't one of
And she
those-
was not the first person like we talked to at Natsumi. She was the one that just like randomly saw us that we were there and got excited.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So did it add legitimacy to your appointment when someone actually...
It did, because there was another person that was showing us the Harvest Moon games that didn't know who we were, but then after that he was very impressed.
Was he?
He was like, I guess I should know who you guys are.
Right.
Well, that's happened. Well, that's happened before when we've been there, where we've been at an appointment and the person showing us the game had no idea who we were, and then someone recognizes us or asks to take a picture with us, and then all of a sudden they their whole demeanor changes. I've seen that happen in even the 3 times I've been to E3. So
I got a great idea for next E3.
have someone stand like 4 feet away every time we go to an appointment.
Yes. We
and have them walk. Yeah.
We hire
Hire a bunch of yellow badges.
Yep. And we just say, hey, in like 5 minutes, just come up to us and just, ask to take a picture with us.
Right.
I feel like that could work out really well for us.
I think that
Right.
would actually work out really
Great.
well for you, to be perfectly honest.
We'll pay some to just like save their spots in the Nintendo line.
Right.
And then-
Yes. Oh, my God.
You could either wait in the Nintendo line all day
or get paid
or
to take a picture
get paid
with
to
us.
follow us around.
Cheapy D, can I take a picture with you? I've been listening to the show for at least 10 years.
Yeah. That's actually what this woman had said.
Really?
Yep.
Did she ask where I was?
A lot of people asked where you were.
That's a lie.
Isn't
but
that
I
true, Ship?
appreciate
Isn't that? Come on. That's very true.
There was a fair amount of people that asked where Wombat was. Yes.
Industry people and fans, both of them, I would say, asked for you.
Excellent. I like being popular.
Yeah. And then they were sad that you didn't make it.
Next year. I'm actually really thinking next year is going to be a Wombat E3.
Cool.
I hope so.
Yes.
That it makes my scheduling harder.
No.
No,
Nah.
not really, because you can.
It just means Thorban will spend more time in the hotel.
Well, I didn't really schedule
Oh,
anything
okay.
for Thorban this year. He kind of does his own thing.
So
I
what you're
was
saying is you don't want me to go.
No, that's not it at all.
No, what he's saying is he's going to be scheduling you and Thorban to see some stuff that we don't want to see. I mean, that's really interesting.
Uh-huh. Anyway, get on with this. Are we still talking about new releases? I think we're past them.
Anything else?
There's some things else, but
Kindergarten, the game. What's the...
Laser Cop sounds pretty good. All right, I think that's good for now, right? There's some Final Fantasy shit that I don't even want to.
that's the online stuff.
I saw a bus ad for that today in Manhattan. Stormblood.
Mhm.
I was impressed, but I still don't care. Okay, not that impressed. But you know what I am impressed with, though? Harry's Razors, Wombat. I would like to tell you that we love Harry's Razors. It's a great shave, sharp blades. They cut that hair right off your face. They glide right over, smooth as silk, but sharp, Wombat.
I know because I use them as well. I have the smoothest neck of anyone I know because I use those Harry's razors to keep my non-bearded areas smooth and shiny. I also know that I have a Harry's razor gift box in my bedroom that's just sitting there waiting for me to give it to my father-in-law so I can impress him with how good Harry's is.
He's going to love it. I've been using the shaving cream since they sent me that latest kit. I had run out of shaving cream a long time ago. But I still had the balm, but not the post-shave balm. But now I got the shaving cream as well. And when I'm feeling lazy and I don't really want to just shave everything, I'll just do like the lazy man's neck shave, which I did this week. And, I've tried doing that with an electric razor and it's no good.
No,
It
it's
does-
bumpy and it's red.
It does not work.
It doesn't work.
Especially for like the lazy man's neck shave. I don't know. It just does not, it leaves a lot of hair and then it looks dumb. So yeah, I was very impressed with the nice shave that I got. And of course, I love the post-shave balm that keeps my skin nice and smooth and cleans up everything nicely after my shaving experience. And of course, Harry's is all about a great shave at a great price. And that's why they have over 3 million people shaving with Harry's right now. That's crazy. You can go to harrys.com/CAG right now. And Harry's is so confident that you're going to love their stuff that they will send you a trial shave kit for free. You just have to cover the $3 for shipping. That's harrys.com/CAG. Your free trial set will come with a weighted ergonomic razor handle and aerodynamic as well, I might add. 5 precision engineered blades with a lubricating strip and the trimmer blade on top for getting those hard to reach places like your nose, underneath your nose. That comes with the butt. Yeah, the butt crack can be very difficult, spot to get. It comes with a rich lathering shave gel and a travel blade cover. I think you got nothing to lose besides $3, and that's not much.
That is a bargain and a half. Do you know what website do I go to get this amazing offer?
harrys.com/CAG. Go there right now. That's harrys.com/CAG. I think we've had 0 complaints.
That is a fact.
That is a fact. And people will complain if they don't like stuff that we tell them.
That is also a fact.
Right. There's no hesitation usually. All right. Thank you, Harry's. Now, do we talk about E3? I mean, let's do a quick. I know, Wombat, you've been really excited about all the stuff that's going on in Overwatch right now. I just want to give a shout out.
It's okay, I can use it up.
I just want to give a shout out because I've ignored a lot of these Twitch Prime bonuses that they've been giving out recently, but they're giving out a Overwatch Golden loot box, which is guaranteed to include a legendary item, which is like a huge fucking thing. Like that is something to get excited about. I was disappointed that I could only use one of them per account because I was envisioning like people sending me their codes that they didn't need.
I was gonna say I would give you my code. I have my Amazon Prime.
Right. So, but you can only use one. So I was bummed out about that, but I did get the nice Mercy imp skin and a Symmetra emote. So you also get 5 free regular loot boxes in August and 5 more in October. So that's a pretty good Twitch Prime bonus. And you have that already if you have Amazon Prime. So that's pretty cool. There's also a new map that just came out and some changes to Reaper, McCree, and Roadhog if you want to read about them. I'm not going to fucking read the patch notes to you. But
no, go. Continue.
No, I will say that I was not in love with the new, I forgot what the map was called, Lunar something, Lunar Base. It's the moon
Lunar
base.
Lander.
Lunar Horizon Moon Base. Yeah, I don't know. And there's like a low gravity mode that you can play in now too, which is, I don't know. It's all right. I'm a meat and potatoes kind of guy when it comes to Overwatch. I just like
You're a mean potato guy?
meat and potatoes.
I'm GBD. I'm mean potatoes.
That should be a good a voice line for one of the Overwatch characters.
There you go.
And while we're doing multi-platforming and Wombat's news and stuff, I also want to add that they just announced that NHL 18 is going to come with a 3 versus 3 arcade mode, which a lot of people have been asking for a while. By a lot, I mean like 7. But I'm excited about it. It seems like a fully featured arcade mode that comes with the main game. It's called NHL 3s, and I'm pretty excited for that.
Cool.
So there you go.
Cool. All right.
At G Biaz wants to know if there's any Wombat Zelda update.
I don't really have one. I know that there was an actual update to the Wii U, I was about to call it, to the Switch that I haven't done yet. But yeah, no, I don't have much to say about that game currently. Sorry.
Okay.
You're never going to play it again, are you?
I don't know. I want to. I just, I've been playing. I actually was enjoying Elder Scrolls, and I've been playing way too much of the Lego Worlds, only because my kids really like it, and we've been playing it together. And also, I really enjoy it. I'm not going to lie.
I bought way too many Lego Dimensions things that were on sale this week.
I saw that picture, so
that was pretty fucking impressive. You're too embarrassed to share that on Twitter?
It was a lot. About a lot.
There's 50% off Lego Dimensions, everything at Toys R Us. And I saw Amazon was...
It's that time. All of this stuff is going to be 50%.
It's
off.
over. It's over, Johnny. Yeah.
Well, they announced some more. They're coming out with new ones.
Yeah, they got to make room.
A few characters, yeah.
Yeah, well, the Teen Titans Go stuff is going to be out there soon.
Yeah, we played that at E3. We played the Teen Titans Go and Powerpuff Girls and Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice?
Beetlejuice. Uh-oh.
It's showtime.
They had a very good... Warner Brothers had some good cosplayers there. There was a great Beetlejuice cosplayer there and a much shorter Beetlejuice cosplayer, which was a little weird to see them.
Why did... I felt that was weird. Why did they have two Beetlejuices right next to each other?
One was the real Beetlejuice and one was the cosplayer.
It looked like they were both paid to be there.
Yeah.
It was just an odd choice. Like that, maybe they were supposed to be at different shifts, and one of them just like showed up early and was just tagging around with the other one. Because I feel like the other Beetlejuice would have been a perfectly fine Beetlejuice if he wasn't standing next to like an amazing Beetlejuice.
Exactly. He was pretty fantastic. All right, I think we managed to talk for 45 minutes without really talking about E3. How did we do that? There's nothing on this outline, basically.
Because that's how we do every show, and every show you're always surprised. Yeah. There's one thing the three of us could do is talk to each other.
That is true, without much on a piece of paper, on a digital piece of paper. All right, I don't even know how we should do this. I basically broke some of the questions down into different categories, and we can just go through them. And
what did you think about all the people, GP?
You know what? Honestly, on day one, when I walked into the hall for the first time, I think out loud,
you immediately walked back out.
I think I said out loud, "Fuck this shit," is what I said.
I was in the same boat.
But as the show went on, and I realized that you booked so many appointments that we didn't really have much time to walk around the show floor just exploring. It didn't really affect us at all, other than we did have appointments that were started right when the show starts at 10 o'clock. So we were worried that we wouldn't be able to get to them. So we lined up at, I would say, like 9:15.
Yeah, that's about right.
But then to compensate for the crowds, the show did let people in 15 minutes early. So we were not late for any of our appointments, but I feel like if we didn't line up so early, we probably would have been, maybe, or it would have been more stressful.
It would have been more stressful. I was pretty happy with getting gushers and fruit by the foot thrown at us.
It was very entertaining to watch the attendees get hit in the face by candy because they weren't looking in the direction of the guy throwing them. And you just hear, like, every once in a while, you hear like a whap. And it was like, oh, that's a fruit roll-up hitting a guy in the head. But no, I feel that they could easily accommodate this many people, or they could do a better job of accommodating these people next year if they just put some planning into it. Clearly, there was really no planning put into this other than having Jeff Keighley do a show in the theater sort of next to E3.
Right. I feel like a few of the booths were designed to accommodate this, but all the rest of them were just the standard booths that have been there for years.
Right.
But yeah, I scheduled the hell out of the show. We
were busy.
Yeah. We saw good stuff too. I was very happy with our time at E3.
You did a good job. Kudos.
I would overhear the general public, the folks that paid their money to be there, and it seemed like most of them were still having a good time, but they could have been having a better time.
Yes. I mean, I asked a few people because we would, we'd have fans come up to us, and that was a good opportunity to ask them what they thought of the show, whether they thought it was worth the $250. I didn't hear anybody say that they were not satisfied. They admitted that it was crowded, but I think it's still very exciting for people who haven't been to E3 before to be there in any capacity. But yes, they could have had a better time if the show was managed better. clearly the convention center has a lot more space that they could have opened up to have merchants or have the panels actually on site. Could have had a lot more panels. I think
What do you think about security at this? Like, I know there's been several articles that are written about it now, and I honestly was thinking about that when we were there.
Yep, me too.
It's hard not to, because there's no bag checks.
Nope.
There's no metal detectors.
Nope. They've had them in the past. I remember bag checks and metal detectors. Maybe not metal detectors.
Maybe I don't remember metal detectors since I've been going, but the amount of people that they need to try to get in to this thing would make. They need to do something about it, though. I think.
Yeah, nothing is not. They had some bomb dogs around there.
Sure. But
not enough.
There's nothing that would stop anybody from bringing a gun in there.
No,
like even deter anybody from it.
I saw a bunch of cops walking around.
Yeah, but
I mean, not a huge amount, but I know it was definitely noticeable.
Like that first day, you couldn't take a step, like a normal step, because there was just so many people like in the hall.
Right.
You were just packed in. Like a lot could have gone wrong there.
Oh yeah. The aisles were not wide enough if there was a fire or something, or somebody was firing
I'm
something.
not generally a person that worries about that stuff, and this got me thinking about it.
Death trap.
Right. And like if you go to the press conferences, if you go to other events like around E3, all of those have bag checks and metal detectors now.
Because they're run by big companies who are conscious about these things, and they don't be liable.
I'm hoping E3 takes a good look at this. I've seen them respond a little bit to the questions, and those responses have not been what I'm necessarily looking for.
They're like, "Oh, we got this,
right?
No problem." Yeah, They could do more, and certainly with all that extra money coming in, they could probably afford it. And
Are they getting that much more extra money, or is it just to make up for the people that didn't come back?
No, they had 15,000 people paying $150 to $250. That's not nothing.
How many
do the math
people?
on that? 15,000
15,000 times, let's say 200. Split the difference.
Well, if they spend $250, that's $3.7 million.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I feel like the convention center is really big, and there's a lot of space that's not being used. If they opened it up to have more like small merchants booths, like in Kensha Hall, that's even more money they could have coming in, and you could even let in some more people. You have more panels on site. I mean, the place is big. You could have a lot of people there. It's a lot of money. An extra, almost $4 million ain't nothing.
Ain't nothing, huh?
It ain't nothing. All right. Let's talk. Anything else generally you want to talk about E3? I mean, it was fine. I had a good time. I want to thank the members of CAG who are buying things through the website, so I can go to E3 every year and take Ship and take Thorban and take Wombat sometimes and have a really nice time. Obviously, that is not happening without you guys, so I'd like to thank you. And of course, I'd like to thank my family for holding it down while I'm away. Like my parents come over and pick up Ty from the school bus and help out.
Your family listening to this right now?
They usually bail after
This is pretty deep in.
As soon as we start talking about video games, they bail. So usually they're out after the first half hour. But I don't know. I mean, I appreciate that. It couldn't happen without them.
Yeah.
And
I appreciate you taking me every year. It's a good time.
My pleasure.
And I appreciate my bag of stuff that I don't have yet.
It's also my pleasure. I took extra luggage today, so I could bring you the proper amount of stuff. Because
now I just need to find a way to see you.
I'm going to see you next week because Ty's going to sleepaway camp, and I'll come into the city for lunch or something.
I was going to say there's also July 4th if you want to come back to my house.
We're out of town actually. We're going somewhere.
Guess who sucks? Don't tell me you're not a little upset that you're going to miss.
It's fun. It's a good time. Of course. It's always a good time at your house.
Yeah. It's the only thing I do. Period. It's the only thing I do.
I like having fireworks explode like 10 feet above my head for an hour.
It's pretty awesome. It's like 40X.
It is like 40X with hot dogs. All right.
And tell me how it gets better.
let's answer some questions from the listeners.
Mm-hmm.
At Lucient2K2 asks, who won E3? Is there a winner? Was there like a
gamer?
Right. All of us are winners in more ways than one. It was interesting. Like after the Microsoft press conference, I think I felt that, wow, they,
left the door open.
The door was pretty wide open for Sony to come in and, really put the nail in the coffin or, choose your.
They were both very underwhelming press conferences.
I actually enjoyed the Sony press conference. I didn't think I was blown away by it, but I thought it was a very entertaining presentation. If you're in the audience,
oh, you're talking about just like the fireworks and stuff.
Yeah, I like the stage.
It's just a bunch of trailers.
No, but I like the stage. They do always have like a stage.
Yeah,
they were
good trailers. I'm not.
They were good trailers. They were games that I wanted to play. I was actually surprised when I were getting all the feedback from people saying that they thought the Sony press conference was shitty.
There just wasn't any. There weren't any news or announcements.
No, it was just trailers. I mean, I guess these press conferences have really been heading in that direction since the age of YouTube and Twitch. Like every year, there's less guys on stage talking and more videos of games.
Right, and people complained about that, but I kind of like the guys talking because it tells you something. It like gives you an idea of like what the company's up to. Like I kind of liked the graphs and stuff era.
You would.
I would. I'm just being honest. I get that it's all about the games, but I don't. Their presentation was so like minimalistic this year of just like literally just trailer after trailer, not even like telling you anything about the games. Just like here's the studio and here's the trailer, and then after that we're gonna do another one of those.
Yep, I didn't mind honestly. It was over in an hour. They had some good food beforehand. I enjoyed the experience. Like I was surprised that people did not like it, and they also thought people kept tweeting at me that they thought that the reactions from people in the crowd there were very subdued. But I didn't get that at all. I thought people were clapping a lot.
They would clap mainly when the studio icons came, like the logos came up on screen. That was like the biggest applause every time, and then you would watch the trailer and. It would get somewhat of a reaction. It's hard for me to clap. Like I don't clap at my TV. like if I'm watching something on TV that I enjoy,
right.
I'm not like clapping at it.
Right. If there's a guy on stage saying something that you find positive or
right, I'm willing to like support him a little bit. Just like giving him a few claps. Like I don't know.
But clapping for the Spider-Man trailer is like a little weird.
Right. It's not like I go to a movie theater and clap for the trailers before the movie I'm watching.
Some people do that, though.
No one claps for trailers.
No? Like Star Wars trailers, they do.
Maybe. I guess. I don't know. I don't know anything anymore. All I know is that I watched both of those from home, and they were fine. I thought the Nintendo one was good.
That was even shorter. Well, it was good because they showed Mario. If they didn't show Mario, you would have been like, what is this shit?
Well, yeah, but that's what they needed to show. And it's also not only that, but it's coming out this year.
That is true.
So it's like, here's something that's really cool, and it's going to be out this year. I was also pleasantly surprised by the Mario Rabbids game.
Yeah.
I played it.
It's like XCOM for dummies.
I know. And I'm a dummy, and I like XCOM. So... explain to me where I'm not supposed to like this game.
I could already hear the the Twitter comments about that.
Going back to the question about who won E3, Ubisoft has to be up there.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to be making a lot of games that will make a lot of money.
I'm surprised they're making a Toys to Life game, but yes, everything else seems to be
They are? What are they making?
some rocket ship game where you buy rocket ships.
I didn't watch their conference stuff.
Oh, they were coming out with some rocket ship game where you buy rocket ships and then you can buy add-ons for your rocket ships to change the way your ship looks in the game. And it's a cute idea. It's just, I think, like 5 years too late.
Right. Still waiting on the Nintendo one.
Yeah, but then again, this is the same company that showed laser tag one year at E3. So, remember that? Remember Ubisoft's laser tag game?
And U-Draw. Didn't they do U-Draw?
No, that was THQ.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
Yes, I remember the Wonder Book. Remember that?
Yes.
45 minutes of your life you'll never get back?
Oh, see, they've learned at least that shit is not entertaining to watch. Like,
A, it's not entertaining to watch, and B, it was a disaster from the get-go. Like,
Right,
why?
wasn't-
What are you thinking?
it wasn't a great idea.
It was a bad idea. No Connect. No Connected E3.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
no. That's been dead for a while.
That's
now.
a super dead thing.
That is a super dead thing. So to answer who won E3,
The gamer
I would say that like Microsoft and Sony.
did not win
I don't know. I bet Sony.
Sony did just because they're already
because they're winning. Because
already
they're winning,
winning.
generally speaking.
right.
I feel like they're already winning, and they showed a lot of. They showed a few exclusive games. Of course, yeah, they're not coming out in the near future or this year rather, but they look pretty awesome. God of War, Spider-Man, and what's the other one?
Days Gone.
People aren't so hyped on Days Gone. but
I am not hyped on Days Gone. I am not hyped on. I don't know if I'm really into the new God of War. I don't want
No, you do.
the God of the Last of Us. I don't want that.
That Uncharted game, Lost Legacy, that looks
Yeah.
pretty good.
That looks so good that I actually went back and started playing more of Uncharted 4, which I got. I hadn't even made it up to the Jeep area. Remember?
Oh, you
told
hadn't?
me?
That's like when the game starts.
Right. So I'm now at the.
Wow.
now,
I didn't realize you were so far behind in that game.
so far, but now they have the PlayStation 4 Pro updates. I am at the Jeep area now, and that game's fantastic. I don't know why it didn't click with me before. Maybe it was just too much Uncharted in my recent timeline, but it's that's a great game. It's really well done, and it looks fucking amazing on the Pro. So I don't know. I mean, I think.
Are you going to get one of them Xboxes?
No, let's talk about Microsoft now, because all these questions are are about the Xbox. Yeah, I don't know that Microsoft made the case on why we need to buy an Xbox One X, or really why
Because there isn't one.
or even why it's worth $100 premium over a PlayStation 4 Pro. Because it
probably
doesn't-
Isn't.
Because they've been saying all along, okay, finally we're going to have native 4K and 60 frames per second, but now it's like, well, Forza has native 4K and 60 frames per second, but other games maybe not so much. Checkerboarding, 30 frames per second. The games that we saw on the One X. They didn't necessarily look like they were that much better or even noticeably better than.
They're crisper.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you where you really would notice this would be at a show like E3, where your head is so close to the screen 90%
And
of
where
the
you're
time.
looking at screens all day. Like, you should be able to pick it up.
Right. That was always one of my pet peeves at these shows, was that the games look blurry a lot because you're a foot away from a 32-inch screen. Now you got 4K. That's where 4K really shines, is when you're close to a big screen. Most people in their living room are not that close to a big screen.
This is still a premium product for people who want it. It's nothing more than that.
Right.
And I think
there's
the branding is
downside.
horrible. The branding is absolutely horrible. Adding an X on the end of this thing.
It just how about a question mark instead? How about Xbox
it's
One
fine.
question mark?
It just tells you. It tells people absolutely nothing about what the product is.
Right.
And I've had numerous people at work this week come up to me and say stuff like, so are they going to stop making Xbox One games because they're coming out with a new console now? Or like, are they going to make Xbox One X exclusive games? And I'm just like,
But how can you solve that? How can you solve that in the name? I don't know. That's something that you can
you put a pro or an elite after it, because then people understand that it's just a premium version.
Deluxe, like deluxe, maybe.
Yeah, deluxe or
Xbox
ultra.
One Gold.
That's perfect. They have the gold thing going already.
Platinum. Let's go fucking platinum.
Yeah,
that bitch.
Anything but literally the most variable letter that you could add after something.
Right. It basically means unknown.
Right.
Yes.
It no idea what that means if you don't know what this thing is.
Especially to an engineer that works in math all day.
Right. And some people, like, I was complaining just like stating what I feel about the name on Twitter. And people were saying, well, did people have similar reactions to like when the Xbox One S came out? And they didn't, because I don't think most people knew that it exists. Like I'm talking about people who aren't reading gaming sites and listening
because that kind of
video game podcasts.
essentially replaced the
It essentially
original.
replaced it, and I also think a lot of people probably just think it means slim because it's a familiar concept that, hey, these things get smaller when they revise them. I don't know that most people know that it is like a slightly beefed up version of the Xbox One.
Right.
So yeah,
but it's not really important since they're the same price basically now. Now they're fucking so cheap.
Yeah, this just seems like such a misstep on, like, if you were going for like a new product launch, that they were kind of like pretty heavily like touting this thing as their like next big thing. And then you just like march out with this name. Like Scorpio, it didn't mean anything either. That would still be a terrible name, but at least it's a name. It's something. But I think Xbox One something, not X.
It doesn't answer any questions or give you an idea of anything. Yeah. I don't know. It's not a good, it wasn't, I agree. It's not a great name.
What about the price point, you think? I think the price point's what I said it was.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised by the price. And look, the S is going to be so cheap by the time. It's already cheap. I've already seen this week, I've seen a 1S with an extra controller and either Battlefield 1 or the Minecraft bundle. It was like $205 or something, or just $200. Basically, they're making it cost around $200, either with a gift card value or just straight up fucking $200 with games and an extra controller.
It's cheap. And I think they might have created an issue for themselves too here with the odd branding, in that they have to get the message out that this thing plays the same games as the Xbox One, because obviously I've had people already ask me, like, is this the next Xbox, and is Xbox One, like, should I not get that now? Because like they're going to stop making games for it, which isn't the case, obviously, to people who know. But like, you go into a store and you see the one that's $500, and there's a tendency to think like the $200 one, that must be the old thing. I don't want to get that. I
mean, because the price difference is so great.
The price difference is so great that it doesn't make sense to buy the cheap one. But then, hey, look, PlayStation 4 is right here, and they're still making games for that.
Right. There's no question what the difference between the PlayStation 4 is and the PlayStation 4 Pro is. I mean,
right. Like even if you only think, oh well, that one might have a larger hard drive in it or something. Like it's easy to like digest really quickly of like, okay, this is I mean, they named it the same as the Macs do. You have your MacBook and you have your MacBook Pro. It's very easy to understand what's going on in this situation.
Yeah. Yikes. Well, I don't think Microsoft expecting to sell a lot of those X's.
But they could hurt the sales of just the normal
Yeah,
Xbox
no, I get it.
with it as well.
I get it. Confusion is not a good thing that you want your customers to have. It sends them in another direction, away from your products. So I don't know. At Lucient2K2 asks, what is the goal of the Xbox One X? Become the next gen or be an equivalent of PS4 Pro for the current gen? How long before next gen consoles?
Didn't we just talk about this for the last 15 minutes?
No, what's the goal? Is there going to be another, like, is this just a stopgap for until Microsoft puts out a real...
plan is to not make another console for, maybe that is the plan. Maybe they, again, though, then it comes down to that next question is, do they just kind of slowly fade out making games that are compatible with the original Xbox One?
Yeah, I think eventually, but I think that we're a ways away from that. I think the goal is just to make these consoles that are incremental upgrades, like a Steam. Think about a Steam machine. Even though nobody bought those, and we didn't expect anybody to buy them.
So in other words, it's a terrible comparison.
Right?
Go on.
That's a great selling point. I'm surprised they didn't bring it up in the press conference. Thinking this is a Steam machine.
No, I'm thinking about, like, let's say, think of it as a Steam machine, but there's a lot of marketing behind it, and maybe not the best naming convention, but think of it as a Steam machine where all these games are backwards compatible with each other. And if you want to spend $1,000, you're going to get a more powerful machine than if you spend $500. But
do you think so?
Games.
Do you think that they come out with whatever the Xbox 2 before they fade out games working on the original Xbox One? Like what?
Yeah,
comes
probably.
first?
By the time that whatever comes next after Xbox One X, I think it's going to be a while. You got a couple more years, and
so they come out with the Xbox One XX, right? And games to the Xbox One XX don't play on the Xbox One, but those Xbox One XX games will play on an Xbox One X.
But I think.
That's
the
what
problem
you're saying.
here is who is making these exclusive Xbox One X games, because Microsoft doesn't have the development houses anymore.
Right. I think it's just going to be like PC. I don't think they're going to stop making games for the original Xbox One. I think it's all the same game. I think if you do it like a PC, then it doesn't really matter. It's going to, it'll scale up to whatever hardware you have. There's no reason why you can't do that with the consoles. As long as you get the developers on the same page, I feel like you can do it. I don't think it's that big of a deal. And I think that's Microsoft's goal. And I think Sony, that's not their goal. I think the PS4 Pro is just, they can show that they have some a powerful console, but eventually they're going to put out a PlayStation 5. And they don't really care about backwards compatibility. So I think we'll see two different approaches from both of these companies. That's what I think. Let's see. Oh, there's so many questions. Anything we want to say about Nintendo? Let me ask this question before we get off of Xbox. This is from Burgundy's Musk. He wants to know, why do you think Microsoft didn't have an Xbox One X available for pre-order right after the conference? That seems like something that people do at E3, right? They're like, that's what they did with
people were cheering that you could pre-order games at full price during the Microsoft press conference.
That's right. And they cheered at the $500 price.
Right. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know what's going on with that.
I can't think of any good reason why you would not want to take the money now while people are in a moment of weakness. Seems like a good plan.
Mm-hmm.
Also, at the real Dark Paul asks, do you think in the next year or two Microsoft will be able to finally deliver more must-haves? Can't rely on Forza, Gears, and Halo forever. It does seem like they're slacking off in that department. Like, seems like Sony has got. I mean, maybe these exclusives don't sell.
I saw one game that isn't a rehash of.
What do you mean rehash?
Well, I mean, they showed another God of War and they showed more Uncharted.
Sequel.
How is that different? than showing more Gears or Forza.
We got
Well,
Spider-Man.
They didn't show Gears or Halo this year.
Yeah, I know. And they didn't show. They just didn't show anything. It's not that they didn't.
They don't have the development houses anymore.
No, and I don't know if they need them. I don't know.
Well, they didn't know if they need them either, but now that Sony has,
Yeah, Sony is cranking out. They do have Spider-Man, which is going to be that looks really really good. But then
that
again,
looks like a system seller. to
when
me,
is that game
Spider-Man.
coming out?
Next year.
Yeah.
early 2018.
Is it early 2018? I thought it was late 2018, but I believe you if you say early.
Well, we don't. That's what they say. Who knows what actually is going to happen?
Yeah, I don't believe it when they say that game is coming out early 2018. But whatever.
Okay.
I just don't know what else. What else am I supposed to be excited
It looked
for?
pretty polished. So
Pretty fucking good. I think Microsoft needs to get some more exclusives going. First party.
they have to buy
games.
houses though, or else they're just going to be getting like Tomb Raider deals, and that didn't
No,
work for them.
that doesn't do much. I don't think.
I don't know what the solution is there then, because they
Do they
don't have many.
the? I mean, I guess the answer is yes, but do they really have the install base to make it profitable?
If you hit it big on the right game, but it's a crapshoot. It's risky.
Because Sony.
You got Sea of Thieves coming.
Yeah, Sony has better potential to have a first party hit based on consoles in homes.
Yeah,
Theoretically.
of course, absolutely, no question about it.
So I could see why they would invest more in those games because the potential to make a profit is greater than Microsoft that's losing this generation. And it may just not make sense to make that many first party games when they may wind up making more money by just continuing the third party model that, does fine for them.
Sure.
They're like the opposite of Nintendo. They're the anti-Nintendo.
Right. Speaking of Nintendo,
Microsoft has Crackdown coming as well.
Right, we didn't mention that, but we weren't impressed. Well, you'll hear about that later in our audio booms that we've clipped on to the end of the show. But I don't think either of us were too impressed with Crackdown.
Has Crackdown ever really been impressive?
Yeah, it's the first time I thought the first time was really impressive. The second time was fun, but short-lived because the game was quite short. Third time, hopefully it's the charm, but I was not impressed with the 4K experience, let's say. It didn't seem to really add anything with that art style. I don't know. Anything we want to talk about for Nintendo? I mean, I think we're all looking forward to the new Mario game.
They showed a Metroid logo.
They showed the Metroid logo was fire. That I'm going to pre-order that logo as soon as possible.
There was a article I was reading today. I don't remember where it was at, but Nintendo of America says that both Metroid Prime 4 and the Pokemon game for Switch are next year.
But we only have a logo?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like a bunch of bullshit.
I would tend to agree.
Right. Nintendo, I don't know how truthful they are. They made a lot of like bold predictions on how many consoles they were going to sell and then had to just go back and readjust them when they didn't even come close, like with the Wii U. Remember, like every fucking quarter they'd have to readjust because they were just like way out of touch with reality.
Well, there was no way to predict numbers that low.
Negative numbers. Yeah.
I really hope that they hit 2018 for both of those games. It just seems they got to have something for 2018. It would just surprise me if it was definitely that Metroid game. Seems like probably not 2018.
Yeah, I mean, if they had anything, they would show it, right? Because they didn't have that much to show, and certainly fucking Metroid is, it's right up there with Mario.
They showed all of the B tier platformers.
What about Kirby? When's Kirby coming out for the Switch?
That's what I was getting at.
Mm.
I don't know. At some point.
I feel like they showed gameplay on that one though, right?
Yeah, they
Or
showed
maybe-
gameplay of Kirby. They showed gameplay of Yoshi.
I mean, those look cute in their own way. I mean, no, it's not as big a deal as a Mario game or a Zelda game, but
Right.
yeah. No.
I think Ubisoft has a gold mine with that Rabbids and Mario game.
You think that's going to be a big hit? Well, it's got Mario
Think
in the
about
title.
if you were a third party and like you're on this platform that is like it's just selling out as soon as they can make them. I don't know if they're even making these anymore, but then you get to the only thing that on this platform that sells is get Mario games, and you get to make one of these, like,
Kinda.
and put it out at a time of year that there's nothing else around it on this platform. That seems like a
good
pretty
deal.
sweet deal.
Yeah. That is probably a good plan. They're stepping in it, Ubisoft. I wasn't that impressed with Skull and Bones.
I don't even know what that is.
That's their pirate game. I don't know that what we played is indicative of what the final scope of that game is.
Is that game is that early, like, to show? Like, is that something that's not coming out for a while?
We played it.
Okay.
Yes, it's not that early. But I think, it's not really a pirate game as much as it is a boat game. You don't control a pirate, you control the boat.
At
Pirates
least
are
what
on
we were
boats.
playing.
Right. It's not like Sea of Thieves where you're a pirate and then you're on the boat doing things to like steering or shooting. This is.
Are you
just
surprised
control
that they're making a whole new IP based around pirates and not just calling it Black Flag 2?
Assassin's Creed Pirates?
Yeah, which they already had, and not just make it a direct sequel. Make it something that looks like it's a sequel, but just not call it one.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe
Ubisoft did confirm today that it will have a single player campaign. But
you're the
I
boat.
still think you're the boat. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how exciting that is to be a boat.
It's not. Far Cry 5 is exciting.
That looked great. But that's also next year.
Yeah, that's early. That'll be early next year, though, because that's when Far Cry games come out.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for that. That looked really cool.
How about, did you get to play any Anthem?
No, that wasn't playable.
That's not
Well,
playable.
we didn't go to EA Play because it was in Hollywood.
Right.
Did they have Destiny 2 playable anywhere?
Yeah,
We
played
played
it.
that.
How is it?
It was the multiplayer. I mean,
Yeah.
I lost badly.
Felt fine.
All right.
Anthem looked cool though. I watched the video. I showed it to Ty when I got home. I had Mrs. Chibi watch and Ty watch Anthem and the Spider-Man gameplay.
I thought you were going to say the spider.
No, fuck no. I'm not. I don't want him.
Ty, sit down.
Yes, enjoy this.
Before we
most
go to
terrifying
bed,
thing.
just give me a few minutes here. You're going to enjoy this.
Yeah, they were pretty impressed with Anthem and Spider-Man. Mrs. Chibi was very impressed with Spider-Man. I mean, it looks great. All right, I think anything else here? I think we've made it to the end of this part of the show. Continue listening for like another 3 hours if you want to listen to all of our shows that we recorded at
Get up,
E3.
walk around a little bit.
Yeah, don't do it all at once. It might be hazardous to your health. Yeah, or do it while you're walking. That's a good suggestion. Yeah. So that's why this episode took so long to download, because it's chock full of E3 goodness. I'll remind everybody to go to harrys.com/CAG to get their free trial set. Just pay $3 for shipping. Follow us on Twitter at GPD, at New Wombat, at Shipwreck, at Video Game Deals. Thanks to Thorbon for holding it down, doing a great job. And that's it. We'll see you next week.
Bread's done.